Hey guys, I'm gonna make this video because for some reason I can't get any videos uploaded to YouTube right now, and I don't know if I'm the only one having problems with this, if it's my software. I've got Cyberlink Power Director is my software, and I've got version 17, so I've got a yearly subscription with them, and it keeps telling me every time I go to authorization page, it tells me that it hasn't been verified with Google, which I've used that program for 2 years without any issues, and I have a yearly subscription with those guys. So I went in and just thinking, well, money usually solves all the problems. So I gave them another $51 and updated it to version 18 and tried it again, and still with no luck. So I don't know. I just wanted to give you guys an update that I'm actually trying to get videos out, but I can't upload them. And of course, it's the weekend, so probably not going to have much luck on the weekend trying to get anybody to answer an email back or anything like that. But wanted to show you, just wanted to show you guys the old 24 valve Cummins here. And I found quite a surprise on this. I don't know how I missed this the other day. Let's see if I got enough light out here, and if I can get the camera here on the phone pointed in the right spot. I don't know, can you guys see the big hole in the side of the block and the chunk of piston or something sticking out the side of the engine block right here? See the big hole in the block? So yeah, it's this has definitely changed. So it's pretty well garbage. So I'm gonna go back in the shop where it's warmer. It's blowing and cold as shit out here. So anyways, talked to the owner on this 24 valve, and he said, well, let's just see if the crank's good or anything's worth salvaging. And he said, we got to get another motor, but I don't want to. He's kind of like me. He says, I want to see what happened, because he's got 3 or 4 of these Cummins and these Dodges. He's never had one that's done this before. He's got some with 300,000-400,000 miles on them. He's never had these kind of issues with it. So no, yesterday I was good. Actually tried to make the video about that Dodge, because we had it in the shop where this tractor is sitting right now. And we shoved it in here, and we popped the hood. We were going to pull the cylinder head off of it, because that's what the owner wanted. He said, pull the head off and let's see what happened. Well, I don't know how I didn't see that when I pulled the turbo off the other day, but got my flashlight out, and I wanted to look down the valve stem holes to see maybe if I could look at a valve stem to see which hole it was on and kind of identify it before I pulled the head off. Well, I looked down in there with the flashlight, and I seen that, well, I don't know what I did with all the chunks. I had a bunch of chunks somewhere from that. I think they're about on the bumper of the service truck. They were laying up on the motor mount. I don't know what we did with it. They're not there either. But I had a bunch of chunks of piston. It was piston material, I'm pretty sure, because I couldn't get a magnet to stick to it. So I think it was all balled up piston material that came out the side of the block. But it pretty much grenaded itself. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I did with that. But anyway, so that's one thing going on, and here's the other thing. I've got all the video footage of. Here's the 8.3. It's pretty well together. I got a turbo down in Wairika. I got to go get for it, but everything's together. Everything's together. I'm going to haul it down to McDowell probably today and start putting it in. The only thing I haven't got together actually on the engine is I ordered 2 thermostats for it from Cummins, and they're supposed to be in Monday, and I still got to get this broken bolt out of here. I might do that today. But the 8.3 is all put back together. The machine parts in Portland are done. We got to get those. Kind of under a time crunch here. We're probably just going to send Blake up there in a pickup. It's a 5-hour drive. Just have him go get them. And I already asked my customer. I said, how big a hurry? He said, I don't care. I'll pay for you to go get them. He wants to get it done. And I've got the new balancer. I got the new crank balancer. It's sitting in the shop down in McDowell. That's another thing that's done. Oh, cool. The headlight is ordered. Green's How come I see my, wait, let me turn it back the other way. That's a better picture. Cool. Okay, the headlights ordered. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's Sunday and I would like to rest, but I'm trying to hustle and get this stuff done so I can leave and go on vacation. It's like Jim from PA said. He goes, I've had to cancel a few vacations. He said, it really pissed my wife off. And I said, I'm really trying not to do that because we don't hardly ever go on vacation. So today, basically, what I was going to do today, I'm probably going to work just 7 days a week till I think we're supposed to leave on the 19th to go on vacation and be gone for a week. So I'm trying to see what that guy's. Yeah, JB Weld. I actually been talking to Frank down in guy I met on YouTube, worked for a big excavation company down in the Bay Area. I usually go to the farm show in Tulare, California. It's I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the farm show in Tulare, but it's the largest ag convention in the world, pretty much. And I don't know, it's a 3-day long event down in Tulare, California, and I know that I've walked for 3 days and I've never seen all this stuff. It's just unbelievable how much equipment and products that they have down there. But I've never been to the Con Expo, and Frank was telling me, he goes, I've been to the Tulare Farm Show too, and he says, you haven't seen nothing till you go to Con Expo. So, anyways, we're talking about going down there to Vegas and seeing that. I really would like to go see it. It'd be kind of a neat experience. I'm not that big a fan of Vegas, but I'm a country bumpkin. I don't like a lot of people around me all the time. But I was going to show you the 6400 here. This, you can see I got the interior all gutted on it. This is the one I did the power quad transmission on. The people that own this tractor, they sold it to another lady. That lady called me and she said, any other problems you see here, fix them. And then I coordinated with the people that still actually own it, and they said fix a couple other things. So on this tractor here, you got your you got your thermostatic switch down here for your air conditioner, and you got your heater control valve right here for the heater core. Well, they said that nothing was working there, that the heater was always kind of on. So this little mechanism here runs your hot and cold. Well, what happens is when you turn that to hot, basically it's running 2 cables at one time. It opens the heater control valve and closes the thermostatic switch, and vice versa when you go the other way. Well, both of these cables are froze up. So I got 2 new cables for that. And then this brake valve, as you can see, it's all wet down on the floorboard. I got a brake valve kit there for that. So I got to reseal this entire brake valve and yard it out of there today. I just gotta work my ass off and try to get this stuff done so I don't have to cancel my vacation. I want to get the road grader running this week. Hey, David Haley, what is up, dude, man? How you doing? I bet it's a lot colder up there than it is here. But no, I got to get the road grader running, which is, I'm pretty confident. You'll see in the video if I ever get my video software to work. I was gonna go. My wife talked me out of it because I've already spent another $51 on the software I've already got, and it doesn't work. And I was actually going to go in and try another program. So I downloaded Wondershare, another video program, trying to get a video out. And it's a balmy 20 degrees. Yeah, it's about really not too much different than it is here right now. We might have 28 maybe here right now. I'd have to look at my phone and see what the temperature is. I just know when I walk outside it's cold. But what was I going to say? The Cummins. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. We went to put this thing together. I want to show you guys something if I can find it. This is one of the wrist pins I got out of the brand new Reliance Power Kit. Can you guys see the problem with that right there? Look at the big chunk of metal out of that wrist pin. Hey, AgKit sent me a new wrist pin. It's actually in the box right here, although the engine is together. I had another 8.3 wrist pin anyway in the shop down there. But the other problem we ran into, we were putting that Cummins together, and 5 of the 6 brand new, I ordered brand new connecting rods. 5 of the 6 rods. Oh, John says I use Wondershare and it works great. I don't know. I'm really wondering if I ought to change. I don't know if it's just my program, or if this CyberLink outfit hasn't registered their product with Google, or is it everybody having problems? I think it's just CyberLink is what I'm thinking it is. We have hauled 107 pieces of equipment for ConExpo and have another 230 to do still. And ConExpo doesn't start till March. Cool. I think I'm gonna. My wife likes going to the farm show, so I think we're gonna go to. I think we're gonna not go to the farm show this year, and I think we're gonna go to. I think we're gonna go to ConExpo this year and see how it is. Is Sony Acid still a thing for editing? I'm not sure. I'm a simpleton. I don't know a lot of stuff about this editing stuff, so basically the way I found my program is I just Googled, hey, what's the best video editing program? And it came up with this CyberLink thing, and then I've been using that. It's worked fine for the last couple years, but all of a sudden it just kind of shit the bed. So hell, so I'd like to go down. Yeah, well, I'm probably going to be there at ConExpo. So, anyways, yeah, I gotta. What is the video problem? Upping. Oh, let me see here. He's got a question. What is the video problem? Upping to YouTube or editing part? No, the video problem is every time I try to produce the video and then I go in to authorize it to get it to register with Google, which I've never had a problem before. It says that this app has not been registered with Google, so which I've never had that problem before. So I thought it was something with my software needed to be updated. So I gave them another $51, which I already had a yearly subscription plan, and then I went to version 18, and I went through that whole process, and I went completely through it and updated everything online. And then I went and made the video again and tried to upload it again, and it said the exact same thing. So that tells me there's probably an issue going on with CyberLink. CyberLink's got a problem, and they're not getting their stuff coordinated with Google, is what I'm guessing, to get it verified. Or they don't have their product registered with Google. So I'm probably going to go in the house today after I get some of this stuff done and try to Wondershare and try to get it registered, or try to get something else going. Wondershare on Windows 7 seems to work good. Never had an issue. Okay, it's an issue with software you're using. They need to deal with the issue with Google. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, John. I'm thinking it's they've got a problem and they haven't got their ducks in a row with Google, so now I'm suffering. So anyway, I think I'm going to try to get a little work done today. I got to get this 6400 back together, get the brakes valve resealed today, and I think they're going to come get that tractor here in the next, probably like Tuesday, so I got to get my ass in gear and get it done. But the Cummins, the 8.3, I don't care if it's hell or high water this week, that son of a gun's going to be running, that grader's going to be running. Oh, I lost track what I was saying. On a connecting rod. So I got 6 new connecting rods from AgKits, and it's not AgKits' fault. AgKits don't make the connecting rods. They get the rods from somebody else, and it didn't say Reliance on the box. So I think the Reliance kit, obviously it was a Reliance kit, But I don't know where they got the rods, but they didn't say ag or Reliance on them. So what I ended up doing, I always take my wrist pins and I stick them in my small end before I stick them in, just to see how everything fits, if the wrist pins slide in nice and easy. And I stick them in dry at first, you can stick that wrist pin in there dry. It should fit in there. You shouldn't have to beat the damn thing in with a hammer. Well, 5 of the 6, we had to beat them in with a hammer and beat them back out. And I called them and I said, hey, one wrist pin fits just like it's supposed to. I said, these are pre-honed to fit the pins, aren't they? Oh, yeah, they should be. I said, well, they're not. So it kind of irritated me a little bit because, I had problems with the cam gear. We got the wrong cam gear for it the first thing around, so that cost us another day. And then the wrist pin issue. So around here in this town, if you want to take something to a machine shop, for example, you guys know the front axle for the 7520? We're probably going on over 2 weeks now. It's been sitting in the machine shop, and I can't get them to call me back and tell me what's going on with it. And my buddy Pete, he's got 3 of those front axles, 3 of them sitting over there. And he called me too at the same machine shop, and he goes, what the hell's going on? He says, I got these 3 tractors in here with these axles out, and they're plugging the whole shop up, and I can't get anything else in here. And these turkeys won't get my stuff done. So I told P, I said, at least I'm feeling pretty good. At least I'm not being singled out, So anyway, I took those rods, I took all 6 of them, and we took them all the way to Medford. It's an hour-and-a-half drive from Klamath Falls. So a 3-hour round trip. Then I took them to the machine shop. That guy had them done in about 30 minutes, charges $120. And Blake came back over with the connecting rods, and we started putting the damn thing together. So I kind of am probably going to call ag kits, because I'm going to buy the in-frame kit, which are Interstate McBee parts, or the overhaul kit for if you guys don't know much about Detroit, a lot of the 60 series Detroit 14 liter and 12.7 liter parts, 50 series parts, a lot of the factory OEM parts are actually made by Interstate McBee for Detroit. So I'm not scared a bit about buying Interstate McBee parts. Very good parts. I'm going to read a few comments here. Hi from Blake's Auto Service of Philadelphia. Hey, I know a guy named Blake. And anyway, I'm gonna tell ag kits, and we'll see how this works. But I kind of expect a $300 or $400 credit, on my next purchase or something. Something needs to be kind of made right on this connecting rod issue. And then, they did make the wrist pin issue right. Here's a brand new one right there. But I am definitely gonna tell them, hey, on this Detroit kit, I kind of need a little bit of a credit to my order here, because you guys cost me a 3 hours worth of drive time, and then I had to pay Blake's wages to have him go over there and get the darn thing. So we got it back. We got the wrist pins all to fit. Cost me $120 and all that good stuff. I've never even seen this. I see this down here. It says $10. What's that all about, guys? $10 just popped up on my screen here. I don't even know what that means. Is that you get paid for going live or something? Maybe I ought to do more of this. That's for the Series 50. Yes. Oh, I got paid, he says. Warren is international. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess he gave you $10. Somebody gave me $10, I guess. Well, that's cool. Oh, donation. Someone donated. Well, thank you very much. Diesel Tech, something or other. Let me see here. I'm trying to read this stuff. 52 something .19. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm a little slow in the uptake sometimes. But anyway, hey, thank whoever gave me the $10. Thank you very much. So here's what we got to get done before February 19th. I just want to tell you what we got to get done before February 19th. This thing has to be running. okay, and back in the get it in the grader, get it running. It's when they loaded that grader on the low boy. We're talking about loggers here. Loggers sometimes get a little rough with stuff. So the logger that loaded this, he was a little rough on it, shoving it on there, and I don't know how he did it, but I don't know if he wrapped the chain around the wrong spot, but he ripped a bunch of the steering lines out of the grader. We gotta fix all that stuff. So the grader has to get going. The hay squeeze with the Detroit 50 series has to get going too. I mean, this is a lot of work in a short amount of time. I mean, this here shouldn't be any problem. I'll have this done today. And then I got to at least get the engine out of the red Dodge and get it disassembled. And also, I got my blue Ford 6.4 Power Stroke that's always in my shop down there. The one with the turbo out on it that's been sitting down there all winter. And I got to go get that done because his other pickup's breaking down now and he wants it fixed. So I finally talked him out of getting rid of that pile of junk 6.4 Power Stroke. So, yeah, David Haley, I didn't load it. Yeah, I've seen you run equipment. I'm going to tell you a story right quick. Okay, you guys ready for a story? We're talking about logging. So there's this guy that has this Champion road grader down here. He loves Champion road graders. He's in love with them. And this guy has all kinds of money. This guy has equipment. We'll be driving around somewhere and he'll say, oh, I think I might have one of those. And he'll just pull off the road somewhere and he'll go back in the woods and there's a boneyard. And he's got skidders and loaders and shovel loaders just sitting there. And you're going, how much shit do you got, dude? And John McGowan, $5. Thank you for all your education. No, thank you. And anyways, he bought this road grader at an auction, and he went and got it, and it was one of those things he bid online. He bought the grader, he brought it home, and he called me, he says, man, I did not win anything on this one. He said, this thing's a pile. And wherever it sat for a long time. It was an old enough Champion grader. It had a 471 Detroit in it. So they got it on the lowboy trailer, and it was so bad, we got oil in it, and there was no power in the cab, and I jumped it across the starter. I got that old Detroit, that old 471, it just fired right up. So, got it fired up and just sitting on the lowboy out on Greenhorn Road in Wairika, California. Now, I get it fired up, and we poured about 20 gallons of hydraulic fluid in it, and the seals were so rotten in the barrels and the rod seals and the piston seals and everything that I raised up on the blade to raise it up. They had it chained up because it kept leaking down, and I think they winched it up and chained it up to haul it. But it squirted a geyser of oil 10 feet clear over in the other lane on the highway. And I said, holy shit, we got to get this thing off the lowboy and get it the hell out of here. Somebody's going to report us. And so we had that big what is that, a 526 cat backhoe, I think it is. Yeah, it was, I can't remember what the number is on it. Anyways, it's a big cat backhoe. He's got a big one. And old Bill gets on the backhoe and starts dragging me. Well, this thing the hydraulics weren't working, and it articulated on me, and it was trying to go off in the canyon. You got a big bank on one side of you, and here's the road in the flat, and then there's a canyon here. And I told Bill, I said, just start dragging me, and I'll just kind of watch things. Well, what happened is it was trying to articulate. Well, the ass end was going one way, and the front end was going the other way. Well, old Bill's just he's an old logger, and he just kept pouring the coals of that back on. He was dragging me pretty good. And the grader front end was going up on the bank, and the blade was kind of partially in the bank too, and he just kept pouring the coals to it. And I look in front of me, and the owner of both of the pieces of equipment, he's just kind of smiling, and we're knocking trees down, and then the cab's hitting tree branches and ripping stuff off, and I don't know, I thought I was going to go off in the canyon, but old Bill, he just kept on going. But we finally got her off the road there, but I mean, that's another old champion grader. He says on that old champion grader, he said, I'm so far into it now, I bought it. He says, I didn't video it, but I went through the circle on the circle on it. I repacked that cylinder, both blade cylinders, the scarifer cylinders. There's a couple other cylinders I still need to repack on it, but that's a big project too. I got to go through that whole thing. I got to go in here and read some of these comments. I get to talking and forget what the hell I'm doing. So anyway, yeah, something else I wanted to touch on, since I can't get a video uploaded, I'll just tell you now. I took that one video down for a while, and I shouldn't have done that. I just get irritated sometimes. I've more than proven, through the years of me doing this, I put all these videos out and show you guys these engines running and completed and operational, and they're still operational today. That, I rebuilt a lot of diesel engines, and then it just irritates me, especially some of the guys that I know that comment that they've been watching me for a long time. What did he say? David Haley has too much snow. Yeah, yeah. All our snow is gone here, but it irritates me sometimes that I know that they've seen me do this stuff and they know that I can do it, and then they question me anyway. Like on the plastic gauge thing. Yeah, I've done the plastic gauge thing for years too. It's not the most accurate method. And I'll tell you what, I get on here, I got to tell you about this guy's comment. This guy was obviously a first-time viewer. He gets on here and gives me this entire paragraph speech and lecture about how I'm doing it all wrong. And then I kind of jumped in his shit a little bit and came right back at him. And you know what his next comment was? He goes, well, I don't do this for a living. I'm a electrical contractor. I do this as a hobby. So he's going to tell a guy like me that does this 7 days a week for a living, and I feed my family, and I've been doing this for 25 years, all of a sudden this guy that does this as a hobby is going to tell me that I don't know what I'm doing. It's just absolutely mind-boggling, some of the arrogance some of these people have. It's crazy. I put some lights in the shop here one time. Does that make me an electrical contractor now? And I need to tell him how to put sub panels in and wire houses and wire commercial buildings? Does that make me the resident expert now? No, I don't ever chime in on stuff like that because I know I'm not. But he's rebuilt a few small block Chevys, and now all of a sudden he's the premier engine builder of the entire planet. So it just, it's Brian Gregory. I was looking that up last night, guys, on that 24 valve Cummins. So there is, I got a couple blocks. I know where a couple blocks are. The flyboys are out flying today. You can hear them. So I guess there's I don't quite understand that. I was reading online that there's a difference. I have some armchair operators too. Yeah. But I was reading online about the 24 valve Cummins, okay? This is a common rail engine. This is an 04. But they were saying the blocks were different between a common rail and like a VP44 and 02. So I don't understand that. They said that the pumps, you couldn't get a pump mounted on it. Well, I'm not understanding. The pump mounts to the front cover, the common rail pump and the injection pump. So if you exchange front covers and leave your common rail cover, if it mounts to the block, why wouldn't you have any trouble mounting the pump? Maybe I'm wrong. I've never tried it. But I'm having trouble finding a common rail block. It's a common rail. So you said 53. Is that a common rail block? Or is that a VP44 block? I'm not real familiar with the numbers on that. But anyways, if anybody knows where there's a good common rail block, let me know, because I'll take one. I found one on eBay. It was a used, stripped down. Maybe casting is different and won't allow clearance on the pump. That could be, because I have had some. I'm trying to remember what we had to do. We swapped blocks one time. Because I think I did do this one time. I took a 12 valve. You can take a 12 valve block and go to a 24 valve, but you can't go vice versa. I can't remember what we did, but I remember we had like starter clearance issues and things like that. The starter was rubbing on the block because we did get the rear structure mounted where the bell housing was, and I remember that was years ago. But thanks to Diesel Tech, I bought this damn piece of shit tractor. Shit I've never traded. He must be talking to somebody else. But anyways, you have a nice day as well. Anyways, hold on, we got a plane flying over. You won't be able to hear me think. My son I got him chuckling the other day. Hey man, I'm an ex-veteran. I'm more patriotic than anybody is. But I live right by the railroad tracks, and then I'm right in line. I mean, the runway is right in line with me. So sometimes it gets a little irritating, especially on a Sunday. If you do take a day off, which I rarely ever do, and you want to enjoy a nice peaceful day, sitting there with your wife and talking, well, here they come screaming over the top of the house, and they almost take the chimney off. So my son was sitting there the other day, we were working here, and they come screaming over the shop, and I said, I don't quite understand that. I said, they take off and they sit here, and this is what they do. They fly over the town of Klamath Falls all day long in a circle. And I'm sitting there thinking, everything to the south and east of them is all farm ground. So if they have an engine fail, they'll just end up in a field. Here, if they have an engine fail, you're going to end up in a residential neighborhood and kill 1,000 people. So I don't quite understand the whole thing of flying around all right over the top of the town here. People say, oh, you're unpatriotic. No, it's not patriotic. I just don't quite understand it, why they fly right over the top of Klamath Falls all day long. Whatever. Hopefully it's something simple and not like excavator controls are paying the test, and maybe somebody else is talking there. Cousin and his son, Walter, Gainesville, New York. 4 seasons here, planting, harvesting, and hunting. Snow removal, 24/7, 65 equipment, repair for many. No, I don't have the 1-inch Milwaukee yet. I actually was going to get, I get this road grader done and the Detroit done, and I'll get 2 good checks out of that, and then I was going to buy the 1-inch. I do have 2 of those big HD 12 batteries now, and I'll tell you what, I don't know how good that 1-inch probably does really good, but I'll tell you what, I had the HD 3 battery I had for a while. Yeah, and I'll tell you what, that big HD 12 battery made that 3/4 gun come to life. I had a video I was going to do on that too, because I was going to show. You guys remember that my first, whenever I was pulling the cylinder head off the grader, and I couldn't get the head bolts out because I had the little battery on. I had 3 or 4 bigger batteries that were screwed up. One of them wouldn't charge, and the other 2, the retainer clips were broke on them. They wouldn't stay on the gun. So anyway, I couldn't get them off, and of course, people that were not new to the channel, were new to the channel, were making comments, and you need to get you a good air impact. And these guys don't realize that these new Milwaukee 3/4 and 1-inch guns, they will whip most air impacts butts. And I don't think they understand that. They're kind of old school. So I thought, I'm going to make a video with this 3/4 gun taking truck tires off. And I did. I took 2 steer tires off with that HD 12 battery and put them back on, and it only knocked that battery down 1 bar, and it zipped them right off of there with the 3/4 gun. So yes, I am definitely going to get a 1-inch gun for my for Milwaukee. I wish Milwaukee had watched one of my videos, because they should promote me, those darn guys. Milwaukee coming out with a new 1-inch D handle. Looks like a 1-inch tire gun. Huh. Wait for that. I think that's probably a good idea. You know, it's almost like you never want, when they make a new vehicle, say they come out with a new Ford pickup, you don't want that first one. You want to let them get the kinks worked out of everything before you go get that first one. Warren, what power probe do you use? I got a Power Probe 3 right now. That's the one I still have. I need to get another one. This one here, I kind of got the tip of it jerry-rigged where it'll stay in there because I broke it. I've been through probably, I don't know, I've probably been through 5 of those power probes that I do some knucklehead stuff every once in a while. I get in a hurry. I had a bin carrier. Yeah, I know, David. I would really like them to have a sponsor me too, huh? Another story, I had a power probe one time. I was testing a strawberry bin carrier, and there's some cross shafts that run some chains on those bin carriers. And I was testing something, well, I think it was an electric over hydraulic valve or something. Well, I grabbed the handle and pulled down on the handle, and the cord, I had the cords from the battery running across the frame rails, and well, it got laying on one of those sprockets that run the chains. When I grabbed the handle, it ripped that damn power probe right out of my hand and wrapped that son of a gun right up in the sprocket and chain and pretty much destroyed it. But I've been through quite a few. I'll tell you a story one time. I'll just tell you some knucklehead stuff that I've done. I had a 9620T John Deere one time. And holy shit, somebody just donated $99. Hey, Firewalker, you're the man. Thank you very much. Can't believe that. Anyway, I had a 9620T with a power shift transmission. And I had the gauges, I had a power shift problem, or a charge pressure problem or something. And I had the gauges on the back of the power shift, and they were fumigating, and these fumigators were right up next to me on the cat. And then I had the county not the county ag enforcement guy, standing right over by the highway screaming at me, "You got to get that tractor out of here, and you don't have your respirator." And he was going off and going crazy, so I was kind of flustered, trying to get this thing figured out so I could get it out of the field and get it out of the fumigator cat waves, because there was 4 fumigation cats coming right at me, you know. So I just said, piss on it. I'm going to drive her right out on the county road, to hell with them. So I forgot I had that gauge. I had it run off the back of the power shift transmission. I had it looped up. Have you ever dealt with the F650 with the C7 motor in them? I said, yeah, I hate C7s, to be honest with you. I don't really care for a lot of those Huey motors, to be honest with you. I got Power Strokes, but I don't know. Those C7s were, I don't know. I've worked on a lot of them, and they're kind of doggy turds. I never did care for them, but I've worked on a lot of them. I'd rather have a 12 valve or a 24 valve Cummins that'll smoke that C7 any day. I don't know. They always were no power doggy things, and they didn't like to start in the wintertime. I never did really care for them too much. Anyway, I had that in gauges, kind of I had it run over between the rock shaft and the cab just like this, and I had it run through the back window, and I had the gauges sitting in my lap, and I had all these guys screaming at me. They wanted the tractor out of the way. So I decided to back up with this big 9620T. If you guys ever been around a 9620T, it's about a 500 horse track machine John Deere. It's a great big son of a gun. So I start backing up with this thing, and U-joint or something caught the edge of that hose, and it pulled that hose, it pulled that Tetra gauge, that whole Tetra gauge. That's why that Tetra gauge you guys have seen me use is all screwed up looking. It's from that tractor. It pulled that son of a bitch right out of my lap and right through the back window and wrapped that thing right around the drive line. And then I had to climb out of the tractor. I thought, geez, I just ruined my damn gauge set. I climbed out of the tractor, climbed underneath the tractor, unplugged it, unwrapped it from the drive line. You know, it still works, but it kind of damaged it. But anyways, yeah, it was something else. But no, I've had quite a few experiences, and it's like one guy told me the other day, old farmer. He goes, you know, when you're always out working and you're doing something every day, he says, guys get a lot of stories. And I said, well, some of my stories are some knucklehead stuff like that. Hey, for all you guys that have donated, that's how ignorant I am on this kind of stuff. I didn't even know that they are junk. Got 2 of the customers that no starters, pain in the butt, wiring nightmares. Oh, you talking about the C7? John McCon? Thank you very much. You're the man. No, you're the man. But no, I really appreciate all you people that have donated. I didn't even know. That's how ignorant I am. I didn't even know anything about that. All of a sudden, these dollar things start popping up, and I'm thinking, what the hell is that? Do I owe somebody? But anyway, thank you very much for all that. Yeah, I got 983 people watching this thing. And the phone's not dead yet, but anyways, if you guys, I haven't read all the comments, but some of you guys I know are way better on computers than I am. I know how to do diagnostic programs, and I kind of stumble my way through some of this stuff, and sometimes I make it worse than what it was when I get into these computers. Yeah, the C7s, I can't stand them, to be honest with you. We had a bunch of, when I worked for the strawberry nurseries, we had 4 MT755Bs or 765Bs, yeah, 3126B, pretty much same thing, pile of shit. I don't like those either. If they would have kept the 3126 as a regular mechanical engine, they weren't powerhouses either, but they were very reliable. The 3126B, when they went to Huey, I mean, I don't know. I did not like them. They did not like to start in the cold weather. Really hard starting in the cold weather. Uh-oh, we're losing count now. We're down to 951. They got tired of watching me. But anyway, you guys that are computer guys, tell me what's wrong with this. This laptop here with a bunch of programs, I turned it on and it's stuck. It says it's running, scanning and repairing drive C, and it stays on 1%, and it stayed there for 3 hours yesterday, and it never did move off 1%, and it just, I wonder if this, oh, we got thumbs down already, huh? I wonder if the 6 thumbs down are the armchair mechanics. I don't know. You can't please everybody. Bob D, 1990. Hey, thank you very much. Man, I can't believe this. I buy and sell a lot of 3126 medium-duty trucks. Clean oil and good filters are a must, not an engine you can skimp on services. No, you can't. It's just like a Power Stroke. I mean, I ran 6 liters and 7.3s for a lot of years, and there's a lot of good things about them, and there's a lot of bad things about them too. That Huey system is okay, but I'm going to tell you what, when it's really, really cold and that oil is thick, they don't like to start because that oil is too thick. There's just not a real good cold weather engine, in my opinion. I did learn a lot of things on my Power Strokes. I started running way lower viscosity oils in them in the wintertime. I'd run 10W30 in them, I didn't run 1540. I'd run 10W30. I know some guys that run 530 in them Huey motors that'll thin that oil out a lot more and make them start. It just doesn't work that oil thin, it doesn't work everything so hard trying to get everything turning. When I was up in Wyoming years ago, up in Gillette, Wyoming, working up there, those damn C7, back then it was 3126Bs. I don't even know if they had the C7s back then, but they did not start. I mean, we had to build fires under the oil pans to get the oil thinned out, get the oil thinned out to where the damn things would turn over, because they just wouldn't spin over because that oil was so thick and cold. But I've had a lot of Power Strokes, and they're good engines. I mean, that one out there has got 300,000 miles on it, and I really didn't have that many problems till it had this cylinder head problem. you know, and I need to fix that. And, you know, and I don't think Blake, I wanted to fix it, and I thought Blake was going to do this for a living, and I don't think he really wants to now. I think he told me that he's going to go back to his firefighting job in June, and he's going to do, Saturdays he goes clear to Alturas, California, and he takes a EMT paramedic class. It's the only one available around here. And that's it. I'm not going to force Blake. If he wants to do that, that's fine. But, you know, I told him, I said, it ain't going to hurt you to learn some of this stuff I'm teaching you, and you can be a well-rounded individual, and you can learn a lot of things. So, sounds like the HD is mechanically failing, maybe, the hard drive. Back up the computer to another hard drive before it breaks completely. Okay, I think I need to go into safe mode, huh? Maybe go into safe mode, because I can't even get it to get past that part. And maybe see if I can back it up. Oh, I got to do a little research on that. Greeting from Guernsey Channel, Islands, Guernsey Channel Islands. Hard drive probably has a dead sectors in the boot partition. Yeah, you're speaking Greek to me, buddy. Stick a SSD hard drive in, it will run a lot faster. Scanning and repairing means disk errors detected and tempted to mark those sectors as bad could mean imminent disk failure. Wonderful, because I have all of a lot of my big programs are on there, and that's not really good news. I need to do something and try to get to, so I don't know, I'll probably take this over to I'll probably just take it to some computer guy and see if he can at least get it backed up for me so I don't screw that up, because there's a whole lot of vital information on that computer, and see if I can save it. Huey can be a pain up here in Alaska too. Oh, I bet. I bet they can be. That's why I can say that. A lot of guys a lot of the old timers don't like these newer engines, but I'm going to tell you what, these common rail engines, they start up in the cold weather pretty damn good. That's one thing you can definitely say for them. For all you guys that weren't on here when I first got on, I just was kind of giving up an update. If you go back and watch after this video, I don't know how it works, but however it works, you can watch the entire video later on, and you can watch the beginning. The 24 valve Cummins is sitting outside the shop there, and it's got a big hole in the side of the engine block. So we got to pull that engine out of there. Good to see you. Greetings from Shropshire, UK. Have a good holiday. Hey, you too. I can't wait. Trade the battery out on the laptop, unplug the mains, leave 10 minutes and restart. It should reopen the window. Oh, okay. Trade the battery out on the laptop, unplug the mains. So I've got another laptop that's real similar to that. It's just a bigger screen. I'm thinking they're both HPs. I'll take the batteries and swap them out and do like you said right there. Trade the battery out of the laptop. I got to read this. Unplug from mains. Okay. Leave 10 minutes and restart. Okay, I'm going to try it. You missed a message from the Farwalker. That guy, I know, no, I saw it. I did. I saw it. I saw his $100 donation. I couldn't believe that. There's a lot of guys that have donated, man. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, but you probably don't. Yeah, you probably don't, JC, have troubles. I mean, like you say, in the summertime around here, no, they're fine. My 7.3 was a pig with 15W40 in it in the winter, starting around South Dakota. Switched to 540, no more issues. That's exactly right. I just run, to be honest with you, I run 10W30 in that, both my Power Strokes out here, my 6.0s, I just started running Rotella 10W30 year round in them. And I hardly had any Huey problems after that. When I was running 1540 in them, I was tearing starters out of them because I had to, even though the batteries and the starter were good, it just, that oil was so thick and cold in the wintertime, we were constantly jumping them off and trying to get them to spin fast enough to get them to start. And because, it gets cold around this part of the country. It'll get right now, I don't know, it might be 28, 29 degrees right now, but we'll get, every once in a while, we'll get a cold, what we call a cold spell, and it'll come in at 3 or 4 days where we'll have 25 to 30 below zero. My grandpa was telling me that when he was over in Lakeview, Oregon, years ago, they used to have a bunch of cows over there. He said they had 3 weeks of 30 below zero weather in Lakeview, and he said that they lost so many cows, were dead, they couldn't get out of the wind, and it was a bad deal. But it was 3 weeks of 30 below, and that's pretty unheard of from around here, but it can get really cold here. Usually once a winter, maybe it'll skip a winter, we'll get that 3 or 4 day spell of 20, 25 below zero. But we didn't have it this year yet. I think the coldest it's got here, it might have gotten down to zero. Maybe, I don't know if it's even gotten into the negative. No, I don't think it's even got the negative numbers this year. Anyways, well, thanks, Brandon. I appreciate that. 0W40JD oil. The hell's that all about? Huh. No, I really appreciate you guys' contributions to this channel. If you guys, I noticed that one thing on the way this thing works, if the comments don't stay here on the live portion of it, I noticed, but if somebody that can give me a little bit of insight, and when this video goes back up on to where you can make comments later, you know, on the regular portion of it, leave me a couple of comments there on this computer problem that I'm having, and maybe even on the video, somebody that has a little, I'm pretty sure I got the video problem figured out, that it's probably my software and they've got to rectify their registration problems with Google, is what I'm thinking, because I can't imagine the entire YouTube community not being able to upload a video at one time, you know, which would kind of be unheard of. But hope you got a backup of the data on that hard drive. I got an external hard drive that every time I get a program, I try to back it up. So I do have most of it backed up on there. So I guess if it does crash, then it's a $300 computer, you know. That's the reason I buy these $300 computers. I'll keep them for 3 or 4 years and bounce them around the service trucks. And when they crash, I try to back up everything I have to an external hard drive. And then I just throw it in the trash and I go get another one. So I don't know if that's the right thing to do. That's just what I do. I'm hard on stuff. I mean, it's always in the dirt. You know, you're always laying it on some greasy bench. You're looking up information. I mean, so I don't know if I should spend the money and get one of those tough books, or what do you guys recommend? I don't know. Hello from London, UK. Hello. Time for a new computer. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy another one. I've had this one here for a lot of guys, you know, say these HPs are no good. I don't know. I've had pretty good luck with them. I bought my wife, what is that, a Lenovo, or I told her, I said she's taking a nursing program right now. And so I got her a Lenovo, I think Lenovo, I don't know how the hell you say it. And I got her one of those, and that seems to be a pretty nice computer. That seems like kind of a more, I don't know, a higher quality type of computer to me. You can flip it over and make it a tablet, and you can touch screen and all that stuff, which I don't need all that stuff for what I'm doing, because I don't want to stick my greasy fingers on the screen anyway. Safe mode, find fault, then restart. You know, that's what I was reading on the internet too. Was told me to go into safe mode, and that sometimes the computer just wasn't shut down correctly. And so it finds it throws this drive C fault, and then it tries to repair it. So anyways, look at that. See, I've stayed on here for 54 minutes now, and I'm learning how to fix my computer. Buy a solid state driver, yes, and back it up. Hope you backed up the important stuff. Yeah, I've got most of it, I'm pretty sure, backed up. Unplug from mains, remove battery, leave 10 minutes and restart it. Okay. Blake is young, and if he gets on a VFD, they will pay for his training. Yes, he will. He really wants to do that. Oh, something else I wanted to mention. I got to get a hold of these guys. I've been so damn busy here the last few days. It's just trying to get all this stuff done to go on vacation. There's a couple guys here in town called they're Mike and Steve Long. They've got a YouTube channel called Fixin', Fixin', Fixin' It with the Long Brothers. They actually contacted Bus Grease Monkey at one time to come out, and he was actually going to come out, and I think they found me, and they decided just to use a local guy. They didn't know. They found my YouTube channel. They've got a bus with a 671 Detroit in it, and they've got a video on there. I actually am in the video. I went over there to look at it to see what we were getting into, and it's almost like, you know me, I don't back down from a challenge, but it's almost like the Peterbilt thing. It's a lot of work. They've added a turbo, which, that bus didn't have a turbo. There's a lot of fabrication, but you guys can look them up. They got a small channel over there. They're trying to get bigger, but seemed like a pretty good couple of good guys. I went over there and bullshitted with them for a good, I don't know, half the damn day. But I'm probably going to do that. We're going to get into that bus, and probably the only problem is, though, I got to explain to them that, it comes springtime, when all the farming goes on, sometimes I can be a little bit slow getting to some of those Lenovo is garbage. Are they really? Maybe I made the wrong decision by buying that. Anyways, 671 Detroit. They've had it all rebuilt, completely redone. Give the old one the Oscar. Yeah. I was sitting here looking at myself in this camera, and everybody always asks me, what's wrong with your tooth? See that chunk of tooth gone? You know what happened there? I was in a confined space, and I was torquing the cylinder head down. I'm trying to remember. It was on a combine. And I was torquing the cylinder head down on a combine a couple years ago. And the damn socket broke. And that ratchet handle hit me right in the mouth and broke my tooth off, and I never went and got it fixed. But yeah, that's what happened there. Hurt like some bitch, man. I'm telling you. It's one of those things where, yeah, it wasn't very good. Also tried to restart from checkpoint. Tell Dell about it. No, it's not a Dell, it's an HP. I won't buy a Dell. I had a Dell computer, and that was the biggest pile of junk. I spent more time on the phone with Dell trying to resolve all the issues with that computer. You guys ever seen that movie Office Space, where those guys finally get tired of that printer and they take it out and monkey stomp it and shoot it and everything else? That's what I wanted to do to that Dell computer. I mean, I don't know how many times that thing crashed on me, and I had to get back online and try to resolve all the issues. I wasted so much time with that thing. It looks cool. Snap-on tools only. No, I don't have Snap-on tools only. I got 2 Snap-on toolboxes. We've got the same dentist, yeah. I can help you with that tooth. I bet you can. A pair of pliers and drag her out of there. I agree on the Dell. Yeah, what a piece of crap that thing was. Just absolute junk. Them Panasonic Toughbooks are a tough screen as well. A lot easier to use. The useless track pads. Harbor Freight socket that broke. No, it actually was it was a Snap-on 12-point. Was it Snap-on? I remember it was a Snap-on. Whatever head I was torquing on, it had 12-point bolts on it, and I remember I had a 12-point Snap-on socket on it, and it broke. Don't get Toughbook. We have 2 of them, and trouble with them, and don't have much room. You bought the wrong model Dell. Get the Dell Latitude. I'm just trying to read some of these guys' comments. Can you make a slow walk around the service truck and show all your tools? I don't really feel comfortable doing that, to be honest with you. It's almost like, I'm going to be honest with you, I got a customer that actually watches this channel that I really wanted to video this the other day. He's got a D6B cat. If you guys know anything about cats, a D6B is a pretty rare cat. There ain't many of them around. I don't think there was really even many of them made. I mean, Jim over in PA worked for a cat for a lot of years. And he said, video that or take pictures. I don't want to see that. I worked for a cat for years and never saw one. But anyway, I went out there to work on his cat, and these kids had sabotaged his fuel system in it, and he didn't really want it videoed, which, I don't blame him there. And it's kind of the same thing with my tools in my service truck. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to advertise to some tweaker somewhere in the neighborhood that might watch the videos. Hey, look at all the stuff he's got. Let's go take all his shit. So I kind of refrained from doing that, to be honest with you. Black or chrome socket? It was a chrome socket, and I should have been using a black socket on there is what I should have been doing. If I can get an impact socket on there, on torquing heads anymore, that's what I do. I was telling Blake was torquing down the 8.3 head, and he goes, how come we don't grab a chrome one? I said, well, Blake's got a big scar on his back. And years ago, I was in-framing a 2008 ISX CM871, and I had Blake in there, and he was just pretty young. He was probably 16, maybe 15, 16 years old. And I threw Blake up on the steer tire, and I showed him how to torque that cylinder head and the sequence, and I said, torque that head down. And I said, be careful. I said, yeah, that is like inviting crackheads to steal your stuff. That's kind of what I thought, But anyway, I told him, I said, when you're torquing these cylinder heads down, Blake, you need to find yourself an exit strategy. He goes, what do you mean, Dad? I said, so when something breaks, you don't wind up in a big pile of shit on the floor somewhere, or up against something that's going to hurt you. Well, he's a kid, and kids never seem to listen the first time. Well, he's got a big scar on his back where that, I can't remember, something broke. No, he just slipped off. He just didn't have the socket on there good, and it slipped off on him. And he was on the, 320 foot-pound torque setting, going there. Then you got to go like 90 degrees past that on a Cummins. I can't remember. But he was on the higher torque setting when he was pulling on it, and I heard him screaming, and he was bleeding everywhere, and he'd hit the mirror bracket when he come off and then landed on the ground. Oh, he hit the step. He hit the step on the fuel tank. And he still got a big scar down his back. And I says, man, I told you, you gotta brace yourself to where if something goes wrong, you're not going to go flying. But anyways, he's got a big scar down his back from torquing a cylinder head on. How you keeping, buddy? Just seeing your live. Love your videos. No, thank you. Dave, set up the Patreon for the Lord's sake. I do have a Patreon account. I've had it for years. If you go back in some of the older videos, there's a link. I guess I need to start posting that link again. To be honest with you, I don't like the Patreon thing. They're kind of greedy over there. They take a lot of your money and they don't do much for you. Let's put it that way. I just would rather do a PayPal than I would the Patreon thing. At least I get all the money. Someone gave you $99.99 also, and someone gave you $20 also. You should check into how you collect that. Yeah, I'm not really sure yet. Use AMI backupper in safe mode to create a duplicate disk. Just did one to recover all data and software for a small company in UK. Some of you guys are really smart on these computers. I'm new to your channel, Western Truck and Tractor Bro. Well, welcome aboard there, Nathaniel Lee. Good to have you. Linkage, please. Linkage, please. Okay, I will. If I get this video editing problem or upload problem, registration problem figured out, I'll put the PayPal link on, and the maybe I'll just do it on this one. I'll just come in there on a comment and leave the link. That's what I'll do. I'm not sure how to say your name. The guy from the Netherlands, he's sending me a headlight lamp. But well, I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I don't want to screw that up. No, thank you. Just the other day, like I called a Dutch. The old truck driver, I thought he was Dutch. And he came over to pay me. He gave me a check for helping him the other day. And he says, I watched the video. He goes, I'm not Dutch, I'm Danish. Huh. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Where do you find all your service manuals and repair manuals? Okay, guys, on this thing, I had a whole thing. I was going to set up a video explanation of all my service manuals. Then I got to thinking, some of that stuff is bootleg stuff. I'm going to be honest with you, and I don't want to get in trouble for it. And so I didn't really want to explain where I got it. All I'm going to tell you, and a lot of it is legitimate stuff, like Cummins Insight. I've got one bootleg Insight program, but the other one I pay a subscription fee to Cummins every year. So a lot of that stuff, though, just Google it. I'm just going to tell you what, just Google it. There's e-manual online, there's EPC catalogs, there's best manuals online. Go to tradebit.com. Tradebit.com, if you're looking for PDF manuals, they've got tons of them. I mean, just the other day, and I didn't have the 8.3C series Cummins manual, and I had that manual downloaded onto my computer within 5 minutes. All I did was go to tradebit.com, I put it in the search query, 8.3C Cummins, there's the service manual. I hit download, I gave them PayPal, I paid for it with PayPal, and bang, I downloaded it. That's one brilliant thing about our modern day society, is that we can get information that quick. So to answer your question, we just say GTS around here, which is in shorts. C8.3 CTA caps pump is a nice engine. Yeah, but this is not a caps one. This is a C series with a PE Bosch pump in it. But I don't mind the caps pumps either, though. No, it's easy. Just GTS. Google that shit, and it's there. I mean, it's that simple, really, to find all this information. Hey, Bobcat, we'll see you, man. He's been on my channel for a long time. That guy has. He's probably one of the guys. Probably one of the first 20 subscribers that I had. I think the first video I ever did was a 7.3 Power Stroke. I got my birthday present from Warren. A live feed. Thanks, buddy. Hey, thank you, Michael. Yeah, I'm live. I'm live because I couldn't do anything else, because I couldn't get a video uploaded. I have 4 different field computers on my ag equipment. It's always fun trying to remember how to run them. I know I do too. Actually, I have 4 of them. I have 4 computers with all my programs, my Cummins Insight, my CAT program, my Detroit, my John Deere stuff, my Texas stuff. I've got one dedicated, it's got tons of PDF files. I got a bunch of PDF manuals saved up to an external hard drive. That's what a lot of these guys customers sometimes don't quite understand when you charge them a high rate. They don't realize all the links that you have to go to, especially as an independent mechanic, of the amount of tools and money that you have to spend, just the information, just to get the information to work on some of this stuff, and that's where a lot of this expense comes from. And sometimes no one giving thumbs up. 562. I've always thought, if I could only get all 55,000 subscribers to watch the video every time, and said I've got 55,000 subscribers and only about half of them watch the video. I don't know why you would subscribe if you're not going to watch the video, but sometimes I do that too. I can't say that. Sometimes I don't have time to watch the video, and they probably have the same thing going on as well. They subscribe, but they just don't have time to watch the video. Gotta go, young man. Catch you another time. See you, man. All right, guys. Well, I'm probably going to get off here too. So anyways, I'm going to try to get a video uploaded so you guys have got something on here. If you would, please, after this video's finalized, leave me some comments in there I can read over and how to fix this computer issue. And maybe if somebody has a different idea for this video editing problem as well. So anyways, guys, I appreciate the contributions very sincerely. Now I got to figure out how to collect it. I'll touch on that. No, I don't do nothing. Anyways, so I'll be coming out with a video shortly, even if I have to get a whole nother software. I got to make something happen. So I'm going to read a few more comments. Who does all the bookkeeping for you? Sounds like a mess. Oh, yeah. Perhaps a chat moderator is in order. Yeah, I know. Back that stuff up. Warren, a dang good guy. He's hilarious in person. Hey, Jay. The reason I come to your channel is because I like the video and awesome job with your channel. Thank you, Nathaniel. I appreciate it. Need a moderator. I know. Yeah, I know. There's a lot of things I need. There's a lot of things I don't get, though. Hey, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I got to go get some things done, so I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.